How often do you tell yourself, "It's too late for me," or "I'm too old to change"? If you've ever had these thoughts, you're not alone. Many people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond fall into the silent trap of believing that their best days are behind them, that change is no longer possible, and that they should simply accept whatever life has given them. But what if I told you that this belief is one of the greatest lies you've ever been told? It's not just a thought, it's a prison. And it's keeping you from experiencing the full, rich, and exciting life that still awaits you. This video is for you if white heavy check mark you've ever felt stuck in a routine that no longer brings you joy. White heavy check mark you're carrying emotional burdens, regret, fear, or relationships that drain your energy. White heavy check mark you feel like life has already been written, and you have little control over what happens next. But here's the truth. Your story is still unfolding. Science confirms that your brain can still grow, adapt, and thrive at any age. You are not a finished product. You are a work in progress, and as long as you are breathing, transformation is possible. In this video, we'll uncover 5 invisible burdens that are quietly stealing your joy, and more importantly, we'll reveal how to break free from them. And you won't want to miss number 5, because it's the one belief that keeps most people trapped in the past, never realizing the incredible potential they still have. So stay with me until the end, because what you'll learn today could be the key to unlocking a life filled with passion, growth, and true happiness, no matter your age. Let's begin. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. Number 5. The crushing belief that change is no longer possible. As you journey into your 60s and beyond, you carry with you a lifetime of memories, some radiant with joy, others shadowed by pain. These experiences shape you, but they can also weigh you down, leaving you feeling trapped in the past, burdened by regrets, or resigned to the idea that life has already written its final chapters. But here's the hard truth. Believing that change is no longer possible is one of the most damaging lies you can tell yourself. It is a silent thief that robs you of hope, of new beginnings, of the vibrant experiences still waiting for you. When you convince yourself that it's too late, you unknowingly build an invisible prison around your mind and spirit, one where growth, excitement, and transformation seem just out of reach. Many older adults silently suffer from these emotional shackles, not just the physical limitations that aging can bring, but the heavy mental weight of disappointments, unfulfilled dreams, and the fear that they no longer have the power to redefine their lives. These unseen burdens can smother your sense of purpose, drain your energy, and keep you stuck in routines that no longer serve you. But listen closely. Just because these burdens feel heavy doesn't mean you have to keep carrying them. A mind that grows is a life that thrives. The human brain is an extraordinary thing. It is capable of rewiring itself, forging new pathways, and learning at any age. Neuroscientists confirm that neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and change, remains active well into old age. This means that no matter how many years you've lived, your story is still being written. You are not a finished product. But the moment you tell yourself, "I'm too old to change," you slam the door shut on opportunities. Opportunities to reignite old passions, to master new skills, to forge new friendships, and to see life through a fresh lens. You may not even realize it, but this single belief can rob you of the simple joys that could make your later years the most fulfilling chapter of your life. So how do you shatter this limiting belief? Adopt a growth mindset. Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck's research shows that people who believe they can continue to grow and evolve at any age are not only more resilient, but also happier, more engaged, and more creative in their daily lives. Changing your mindset is the first step to changing your reality. Start with small victories. Change doesn't have to be dramatic. It can start with a single decision. Take a different route on your morning walk. Read a book on a topic you've never explored. Strike up a conversation with someone new. Every small step forward rewires your brain to embrace change rather than fear it. Surround yourself with inspiring role models. Look to people in their 70s, 80s, or even 90s who redefine what aging looks like. Whether it's an 85-year-old learning a new language, a retired teacher picking up painting for the first time, or an elderly grandmother discovering the joy of social media to connect with family across the world. When you let go of the chains of self-doubt, a new world unfolds before you, one filled with possibilities, adventure, and the quiet thrill of becoming more than you ever thought you could be. Imagine waking up each morning feeling lighter, knowing you are no longer a prisoner of your past beliefs. Imagine stepping into each day with curiosity, eager to see what new experiences await you. This is the beauty of change. It is never too late, and it is always within reach. So ask yourself today, will you continue to live in the past, or will you step forward into the incredible potential still waiting for you? If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Number 4. Releasing the heavy burden of the fear of death. One of the most profound and paralyzing burdens we must learn to release as we age is the fear of death. The thought of our own mortality can feel like a suffocating weight, pressing on our hearts, stealing the vibrancy from our days, and casting a shadow over the joys we still have left to experience. But here's the raw truth. Fear does not stop death. It only stops life. As the years pass, we become increasingly aware of our own impermanence. The ticking clock becomes louder, and we start to wonder, how much time do I have left? Have I done enough? What awaits me beyond this life? These questions can consume us, gnawing at the edges of our happiness, making us prisoners of our own anxieties. Instead of embracing the beauty of the present, we become haunted by an uncertain future. But why does this fear hold such a tight grip on our souls? The deep roots of the fear of death. Small blue diamond, the uncertainty of the afterlife. The unknown is terrifying. Many people grapple with haunting questions. What happens when I close my eyes for the last time? Will I dissolve into nothingness? Will I reunite with loved ones? Will I face judgment? The uncertainty of what lies beyond this world can be a source of deep existential anguish. Small blue diamond regrets, unfinished business, and the weight of the past. Some fear death not because of what comes after, but because of what they are leaving behind. A heart filled with regret, unspoken words, fractured relationships, and unfulfilled dreams can make the final farewell seem unbearable. The realization that we may not have time to mend what was broken or chase the dreams we abandoned can bring an aching sorrow. Small blue diamond cultural and societal taboos. In many societies, death is a hushed topic, shrouded in secrecy and discomfort. We are taught to avoid discussing it, as if speaking about it might summon it sooner. This silence breeds fear, turning death into an ominous, forbidden subject instead of a natural, inevitable part of the human journey. But should we spend our remaining days running from something that is woven into the fabric of life itself? Should we allow fear to dull the brilliance of our remaining years? Or should we dare to face it head-on, freeing ourselves from its suffocating grip? Breaking free from the fear of death. White heavy checkmark. Embrace acceptance. Find liberation. Ancient wisdom from Stoicism to Buddhism teaches that contemplating death, rather than avoiding it, brings peace. When we make peace with the inevitable, we stop resisting life itself. Death is not the enemy. It is the reason life is so precious. White heavy checkmark. Focus on your legacy. Leave a mark on this world. Instead of obsessing over the final moment, shift your energy toward what you can still do with the time you have. Write letters to your loved ones. Document your life's wisdom. Plant seeds of kindness in your community. Let your existence be a gift that continues long after you are gone. White heavy checkmark. Resolve the past. Free your spirit. If regret is fueling your fear, do something about it. Pick up the phone and mend that broken relationship. Apologize. Forgive. Say the words you have held back for too long. Chase that small dream, even if it's just for the joy of saying you tried. The burden of unfinished business should not be carried to the grave. White heavy check marks speak about your fears. Lighten the load. Fear loses its power when spoken aloud. Whether through heartfelt conversations with loved ones, guidance from spiritual mentors, or reflections in a personal journal, expressing your fears can release their hold on you. You are not alone in this journey. Lean on those who understand. When we release our fear of death, something magical happens. We start truly living. Suddenly, the simple moments we once took for granted become sacred. The warmth of the morning sun on your face, the taste of a rich cup of coffee, the laughter of a grandchild, the way the wind carries the scent of rain. Each moment becomes more vivid, more meaningful, more alive. Because when we stop fearing the end, we finally begin to cherish the present. And that, in itself, is the most beautiful way to honor the time we have left. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Number 3. Breaking free from toxic relationships. Reclaim your joy in your golden years. Relationships shape the fabric of our lives, influencing our happiness, self-worth, and emotional health, especially as we grow older. By the time you reach your 70s, you've encountered a vast spectrum of people. Some have been a beacon of support, enriching your life with love, encouragement, and kindness. Others, however, have drained your energy, leaving you emotionally exhausted, anxious, or feeling unworthy. Now, more than ever, it is crucial to surround yourself with relationships that nurture and uplift you rather than those that deplete your spirit. But how do you recognize a toxic relationship? These relationships often creep into your life subtly, disguising themselves as friendships, family bonds, or even romantic connections. Over time, however, they reveal their true nature through patterns of manipulation, emotional suffocation, and outright negativity. Here are some glaring red flags. Red circle: constant criticism. Do you have someone in your life who seems to find fault with everything you do? Whether it's your choices, your appearance, or your beliefs, they always have something negative to say. Instead of lifting you up, they chip away at your confidence, making you second-guess yourself. This kind of relentless criticism is not constructive, it is destructive. Red circle: emotional manipulation. Toxic individuals have a knack for twisting your words and emotions to serve their own needs. They make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, blame you for their misfortunes, and expect you to bear the burden of their unhappiness. These people thrive on making you responsible for their problems while rarely, if ever, acknowledging their own shortcomings. Red circle: one-sided dependency. Have you noticed that some people only reach out when they need something from you? Whether it's money, favors, or emotional support, they are quick to seek you out when they're struggling. But the moment you need a helping hand, a listening ear, or simply some companionship, they vanish. A truly healthy relationship is built on mutual care and reciprocity, not one-sided dependency. Red circle: draining negativity. Life is challenging enough without carrying the weight of someone else's constant pessimism. If you have people in your life who always focus on the worst in every situation, complain incessantly, or bring drama into your world, they could be negatively impacting your mental and emotional well-being. Toxic relationships often leave you feeling emotionally drained, tense, and even physically unwell after interactions. The cost of holding on. Keeping toxic people in your life isn't just frustrating, it can have serious consequences on your overall health. Studies have shown that chronic stress from toxic relationships can lead to increased anxiety, high blood pressure, depression, and even a weakened immune system. At this stage in life, your peace of mind should be a priority, not a casualty. The power of letting go. Releasing yourself from toxic relationships isn't easy, especially if they involve long-standing friendships, family ties, or deep emotional bonds. However, it is one of the most powerful acts of self-love you can offer yourself. When you remove toxic influences, you create space for genuine connection, mutual respect, and true emotional nourishment. Instead of allowing negativity to weigh you down, invest your time and energy in people who bring light into your life, those who appreciate your wisdom, value your presence, and respect your boundaries. Whether it's nurturing old friendships that bring you joy or opening yourself up to new, supportive relationships, your emotional well-being is worth protecting. Your happiness matters. Your peace matters. Your emotional health matters. Don't allow toxic relationships to rob you of the joy you deserve. Letting go isn't just an act of strength, it's an act of self-preservation. Number 2. Regret, the weight that crushes the soul. Regret is like carrying a backpack filled with jagged stones, each one a memory of a mistake, a mischance, a word left unspoken. It drags you down, pressing into your shoulders with relentless force, making every step forward feel like a struggle. And yet, you continue to carry it, believing that somehow, by holding on to the pain, you can rewrite the past. But regret is a cruel illusion. It binds you to a version of yourself that no longer exists, trapping you in a cycle of what-ifs and if-onlys. By the time you reach 70, you will have undoubtedly accumulated a lifetime of decisions. Some wise, some foolish, some that led you to moments of deep joy, and others that left behind lingering scars. There will be people you wish you had held onto a little longer, words you wish you had said before it was too late, and dreams you abandoned out of fear or doubt. But here's the truth. No amount of regret will ever change what has already been written. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can still author today. So, how do you free yourself from the suffocating grip of regret? Broken heart, recognize the lesson. Every mistake carries a hidden gift, a lesson wrapped in pain, waiting to be unwrapped. Ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? Maybe it taught you the value of honesty, the importance of timing, or the necessity of courage. Take that wisdom and apply it to the life you have left. Don't let your past failures be in vain. Let them be the foundation for a wiser, more enlightened future. Sparkling heart, forgive yourself. If a dear friend came to you, burdened with guilt over a past mistake, you would likely comfort them, reminding them that everyone stumbles. Why, then, do you refuse to offer yourself the same kindness? Self-forgiveness is not about dismissing responsibility, but about understanding that you are human, imperfect, yet evolving. Research has shown that self-compassion significantly improves emotional well-being, reducing anxiety, depression, and even physical stress. Holding on to regret is like punishing yourself endlessly for a crime already served. Let it go. Sunrise, focus on the present. Life is not happening in the rearview mirror. It is unfolding right in front of you. Redirect your energy toward what you can do now. Write that long overdue letter of apology. Make that phone call to reconnect with someone who once mattered. Embrace a new hobby that brings you joy. Or simply step outside and let the golden glow of the setting sun remind you that beauty still exists. Letting go of regret does not mean forgetting your past. It means reclaiming your power from it. It means looking at your life with softer eyes, with understanding instead of judgment, with gratitude instead of grief. You are not your mistakes. You are the sum of all your experiences, woven together into a tapestry of resilience, growth, and endless possibility. And as long as you are still breathing, there is time to turn the page. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Number 1. Breaking free from the chains of approval. By the time you reach 70, you have carried the weight of expectations for decades. Expectations placed upon you by society, by family, by tradition, and perhaps even by your own inner critic. You have played many roles. You may have been a parent, a spouse, a caregiver, an employee, a leader, a peacekeeper. You have worked tirelessly to meet the needs of others, sometimes at the expense of your own. You have put others first, made sacrifices, and bit your tongue to keep the peace, even when every fiber of your being wanted to speak up. You have learned to say yes when you really meant no, to stay silent when you long to express yourself, to shrink when you deserve to take up space. But now is the time to reclaim your power. At this stage of life, you do not need anyone's approval to live your truth. Not your children's, not your friends, not your neighbors, not society's. The only validation you need is your own. The relentless pursuit of approval is an invisible prison, a trap that keeps you tethered to the whims of others. It keeps you walking on eggshells, afraid of judgment, terrified of rejection. It robs you of the freedom to be your true self, to live boldly, to make choices that bring you joy. But here is the truth. The day you stop seeking validation from others is the day you set yourself free. Why do we seek approval in the first place? The need for external validation isn't something you chose. It was conditioned into you from childhood. Early conditioning. From a young age, we are taught to follow the rules, to obey authority, to seek approval. Be a good boy. Be a nice girl. Do what's expected. We are rewarded when we conform and often shamed when we don't. Over time, we internalize the idea that our worth depends on what others think of us. Fear of conflict. Many of us were raised to believe that disagreement equals disrespect, that to challenge others, to speak up for ourselves, is to invite trouble. And so, we suppress our thoughts, swallow our feelings, and agree, even when it goes against our own well-being. Fear of judgment. No one enjoys being criticized, ridiculed, or cast aside. The desire to be liked is deeply ingrained in human nature. But when that desire controls us, when it dictates our choices, we lose sight of who we truly are. And here's the most painful part. No matter how much you seek approval, it will never be enough. You could spend a lifetime trying to meet everyone's expectations, yet someone will always find fault with you. And in the process, you will lose yourself. The devastating cost of living for others. When you spend your life chasing approval, you pay a heavy price. Loss of authenticity. Every time you say yes when you mean no, every time you hide your true thoughts to keep the peace, every time you mold yourself into what others want, you drift further from your true self. Until one day, you look in the mirror and wonder, who am I, really? Emotional exhaustion. Trying to please everyone is an impossible, never-ending task. No matter how hard you try, someone will always disapprove. The stress, the overthinking, the constant worrying, it drains your energy, leaving you emotionally depleted. Accumulated resentment. The quiet, seething frustration that builds when you spend years prioritizing others while neglecting yourself. The resentment that bubbles beneath the surface when you realize you have sacrificed so much for people who may never even notice or appreciate it. You were not put on this earth to live in quiet frustration. You were meant to live fully, boldly, unapologetically. How to break free and reclaim your life. If you have spent decades as a people pleaser, breaking free won't happen overnight. But it is possible, and it is absolutely worth it. Recognize your worth. Your value is not defined by others' opinions. You do not need permission to be yourself. You have lived through joys and sorrows, triumphs and losses. You have learned, grown, endured. That alone makes you worthy. Set healthy boundaries. Repeat after me, I am not responsible for managing other people's emotions. You have the right to say no. You do not owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your own well-being. Speak your truth. You don't have to be aggressive, but you deserve to be heard. If someone is offended by your honesty, that is their burden to carry, not yours. Be selective about feedback. Not everyone's opinion matters. Ask yourself, does this person truly care about my happiness, or are they simply trying to control me? Choose whose words you allow into your heart. Let go of the guilt. Years of conditioning may whisper, but what if they're disappointed? Let them be. You are not responsible for living up to anyone else's expectations. The unimaginable freedom of living for yourself. Imagine the peace of no longer seeking validation. Imagine waking up each morning and knowing you are enough, just as you are. Imagine making decisions based on your own desires, not what others expect of you. Imagine speaking your mind, without fear, without hesitation. Imagine surrounding yourself with people who love you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. This is the power of letting go. This is the freedom you deserve. So ask yourself, are you still waiting for permission to be yourself, or are you ready to finally live on your own terms? Now that we've explored these 5 powerful truths about aging, growth, and emotional freedom, I want to hear from you. What's the one thing that stood out to you the most? Which of these insights are you going to apply in your own life starting today? Maybe it's the realization that change is always possible, no matter your age. Or perhaps it's the decision to finally let go of regret, to free yourself from toxic relationships, or to stop seeking approval from others. Take a moment and share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'd love to hear what resonated with you the most. And if you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you life-changing content that empowers you to live your best life, at any age. Thank you for watching, and remember, you are never too old to grow, to dream, and to start a new chapter. Until next time, take care and keep thriving.